Since making history as the first man to land on the moon, Neil Armstrong has shied away from the public eye. Now we have an exclusive interview with him. Neil, first of all, can you tell me what you were thinking before you landed on the moon?
Before I landed on the moon, I thought, I sure as hell hope it ain't made of cheese. That's a joke. I try and lighten things up because people say you're not funny, you're always so serious. I was heading down, I could see the crater below me, and I said to Buzz, I said, I hope the Creator made a good landing for us, and it just straight over his head. The history doesn't remember me as a stand-up, which is what I'd most like to be remembered for. The moon's sort of a byproduct.
Moments after stepping past that majestic open space, one man followed in the footsteps of destiny, curiously caressing a virgin dust. Buzz Aldrin.
How you doing? Oh, Neil he was a funny guy, you know. He told a lot of jokes, and he wasn't the most, sometimes you felt his mind was someplace else, even despite the fact that we were on the moon, but he still managed to deliver when it cometh the hour, cometh the man, so to speak.
How did you decide who would be the first man upon
Well,
the
we
moon?
we drew some straws, and Neil had all the straws, so he just took them all. So I guess that was it.
Well, I'd obviously bought many different items from the joke shop for the long journey to the moon. One of which, of course, was a novelty straw set magic trick. So when he said draw straws to be first on the moon, I thought, gotcha! This'll get a real rise out of you. All I didn't realize is that I was choosing to be first on the moon. Hell, I didn't want to even get off.
Talk to me about the first time through the window you observed the moon at close proximity.
Well, I tell you, it's quite a sight when you realize you're so close to something you've seen from Earth for so long, and yet, to be honest with you, I couldn't see the moon as clearly as you would hope, because the module, the windows were so small, and I was drinking a heck of a lot, and I would look out the window, and I'd be a bit like, wait, like, I was a bit I was drunk. So Neil had been practicing. He'd be like, very small step for man, one medium size, step, and I was like, well, that's no good. And he was like, one big step for man, one bigger step for mankind, and he was, back and forth with his ideas. And then I said to him, listen, you should just say that, oh, it's the moon, motherfucker.
Mission Control got the perfect sentence to say, go down in history, and as you all know, in famous lines, I said, I'll step on the moon and I'll say, I thought I'd seen a full moon when Casey Chapman flashed her butt to me in 7th grade, but this tops that.
Just talk us down from climbing down the ladder first time you exit the...
Oh, well, I tell you, it was quite a sight for sore eyes to be on the ladder, and you're looking down and you see you step down on that surface and you think, boy, you think, boy, here I am on the moon, and you think, you think, fuck, you think, fuck, you want to kind of, I almost ripped Neil's fucking head off and, kind of just freaked the fuck out in a way, because we're on the fucking, what the fuck?
We have a transcript from your actual speech while you're on the moon, which went, I quote, I can't fucking see shit, my God,
Yeah.
tequila, tequila, I'm gonna fucking snooze this shit out.
Yeah.
I'm all blind and fucked.
Okay.
And then your quote when you came back to Earth was, "The moon, you gotta be fucking shitting me. I thought I'd been at a disco."
Yeah. Okay, so, AKA mysterious question number 1, I put my headgear on back to front. Motherfucker. I put it on. Now you live inside a piece of shit tin can the size of a motherfucking shoebox, and you put on your helmet, and they say get onto the moon, and you put it on, and you can't see the fuck out of your face because you're so jacked up on Jack, and you get out there and you're all floating around like a fucking moth in a fucking storm, and people say, how's the moon? I say, fucking the moon? I don't remember the last time I pissed straight, you fuck. And I get back to Earth, and my wife, she's all like, oh, you can't get an erection. Why not? And I said, well, listen to me. If you've been to the fucking celestial moon, bitch, you realize there's more to shit than your poo-tang, you fuck.
Well, obviously, Mission Control said we got experiments for you to perform. And I said, okay, sure, the geological stratosphere of the moon would be cool, but how about some magic? So I did sponge protein, I did novelty animal balloons, I did cups and balls, and